schedules, systems, and strategies. Those are the three most important elements to any of your marketing plans. Anything that you are doing next year that you are trying to attract, engage, and convert your audience, you need a schedule, you need systems, and you need a strategy. There are no doubts about it, and that is what we're going to talk about today. I promised you 3 very important elements that could make or break your marketing next year. That's it. Schedules, systems, and strategies. Let's get into it. Okay, I'm in my backyard filming today because I have a crew inside my house working on a project that you're going to learn more about next year. I've got some fun new things coming to the channel, so be sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. But today, I promise, we are continuing on with our 4P New Year Push series. We've got, 2 more to go after this one before the season ends. And this week we are talking about these 3 very important elements that you cannot live without. If you think you can, you're wrong. Marketing is not just about pretty pictures and ads. It is about relationship building. And in order for you to do that properly, you need a good schedule, you need solid systems, and you need a killer strategy. So let's talk about it. Your schedule. Okay. If you think that you are doing anybody any good by running around like a chicken with your head cut off, thinking that you can be everything to everybody, you are absolutely, positively wrong. It is not possible. The only thing that you are going to be good at is burning yourself out. So you need to take charge of your calendar. Now, I just did a whole podcast on it yesterday. I'm going to link it down in the description so that you can hear all about it. But suffice it to say, I have 4 key elements to every schedule that is going to help improve your productivity and minimize that stress and overwhelm. Your daily workflow is the foundation of everything you're doing. Everything from your health and well-being all the way up to your customer's experience. And that customer experience is what keeps people coming back, and it's what gets people to refer you out. So your schedule is the key to that. How do you get things in place so that you have consistency, you have a great experience when people are working with your brand? It's all in your schedule, and I'm showing you all about those 4 elements in my podcast. So go and listen to that. It is down in the description. In your schedule, what it allows you to do is to create consistency in your day so that you can know what to expect. Even though there are potential surprises in your day, you have accounted for those things in your zero balanced calendar. I talk about that, your zero balanced schedule, I talk about that on the podcast. But when you're creating your schedule, it's important for you to think about what you need on a daily basis to make sure you are maximizing your time, to make sure you are being as productive as possible, to make sure you are getting the needs met for not only yourself, but for your family, for your customer base, and for anybody else that you are working with. Your schedule is the key. You know how you go somewhere, maybe a company, and there is a receptionist? She's the gatekeeper. She's who makes sure you can see or not see someone in that particular office building. Your schedule should be the same way. It is the gatekeeper. You should be looking at it before you say yes to anything. And just because you say no to something, it doesn't mean that you have something else to do. It could very well mean that whatever it is you're being asked to do is interrupting your self-care time. And that is important time that should be in your zero balance schedule. Again, listen to the podcast. I go into all of that into detail. That is linked down in the show notes. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is your systems. Okay, I'm going to do a plug almost every time because I cannot believe how important this is to every aspect of your life. But my program, Project CEO, goes into how you can be unapologetically you. This means you are going to be setting boundaries, managing expectations, and teaching people how to treat you. When you do that, you will also, when you become unapologetically you, you will be able to create systems that allow you to show up consistently with the same level of quality, the same level of energy, and you will be able to meet the expectations of those you are interacting with. I've said this before, your narrative speaks for you even when you're not around. Systems help to ensure that when people are checking you out and you're unaware, they are seeing consistency in the things that you are doing. So systems are for you. They help you minimize stress and overwhelm. They help you ensure that you have consistency, and they make sure that you are going to provide the same level of quality in everything that you do. So systems are extremely important. They are going to, I dive all into this inside Project CEO, by the way, but systems are like the method to your madness. How do you like to approach things? How do you maintain motivation and inspiration? How do you stay encouraged to continue to do the things that you're doing? When you have systems in place, you have little interruption, or you don't allow as many interruptions because you know what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, how you want to get it done. You have these, like I said, a method to your madness. And so creating systems comes from knowing yourself and what you need to do and be your best. That's why I'm talking so much about Project CEO, because that's what that program is about, just being unapologetically you and helping you get to the roots of those things so that you know exactly what you need to do and be your best. And you can show up in all the various circumstances that happen throughout your life, whether it's life, career, or business. You can show up unapologetically in those different areas because you have the systems in place. I talked about standard operating practices, creating personal standard operating practices in your life. You do that by becoming unapologetically you, and that is how you begin to teach people how to treat you. That is how you set the boundaries, and that is how you manage expectations. That is all wrapped up in those standard operating practices, those personal standard operating practices. But systems go as deep as small as just like what you do in the morning, your daily routines, but also all the way up to you building a brand for yourself and having duplicable processes that when you begin onboarding people, you can plug them in automatically, almost seamlessly without stress. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had over the past couple of weeks with people who don't have their systems and processes together. And I'm going to be honest, I had a snafu over the Thanksgiving holiday where I was offering a very specific discount to a certain group of people who had participated in an event. And even though all of my systems and processes were in place, for whatever reason, I know why. I was moving too fast and I did not hit publish on the page that allowed for that specific discount. So when the link went out, they were getting the regular price. And I almost missed sales because people aren't going to come back to you and say, oh, well, it wasn't the price. I had to ask questions as to why things weren't going as I had planned them to go. That's when I found out what the issue was. Of course, I went and fixed it, but I was able to fix it quickly because of the systems and things that I have in place. And when things did not go the way I anticipated them going, because I have systems and checks and balances in place, I was able to catch it. That is the importance and the value of having systems in your life, career, and or business. And then finally, a strategy. Your marketing is just not going to do it. You're just not going to maximize your marketing. It's not going to be as effective as you want it to be without these three things. First, a schedule. I mentioned that. We're talking about that on the podcast. Secondly, we talk about these systems. They're for you. They're for consistency. Marketing is nothing more than relationship building. And how do you build relationships? You show up as yourself every single time. There's no varying in personality types, and the same should hold true to the way you show up as your brand for your marketing. There should be consistency. That is where templates come into place and having a strategy for how you're going to use those templates. If you have a launch template, then that is going to help you understand what has worked in the past with your launches, and it'll give you a launch pad for how you're supposed to move forward with your launches because you'll know that things work. The consistency will be there for your audience. I mentioned this in some of the program. I'll just give you this little secret. Templates are like a recipe and a cookie cutter. If you have a favorite cookie that you love, every time you go on your family summer trip, you stop at this wonderful bakery that has these amazing cookies. And every time you go, they are divine. They look the same. They're so nostalgic. They're lovely. That's what templates do for your customer. Every time they show up at your establishment, at your website, they come to your social media platforms, what they're seeing is that cookie. And when they bite into it, when they consume that content, they know they're getting the same recipe. They're getting that same value, that same important little tidbit that they needed, that they keep coming back to you for. That is what having a strategy can help you with. When you know how to embed those templates into various points in your business and your exposing of your brand, that is how you're going to create amazing strategies for yourself. Now, you can keep going on and on if you want to without knowing how to manage your schedule, having amazing systems in place to keep you sane, or even creating fantastic fire strategies for your marketing if you want to. But I can tell you right now, because I've lived it, I know it's true, you will not get the maximum from your efforts with marketing if you don't have these 3 elements in place. So I suggest that you go ahead. Number 1, if you've not taken my stages of bossing quiz, you should definitely do that, because it tells you what stage of bossing you're in, and then it helps you identify your target audience, or at least who they should be. That's going to help you really bring in some of those good clients that really want what you have and they want it the way you're giving it. I would suggest taking that quiz to find out what stage of bossing you're actually in. And then I would also have you get on the wait list for Project CEO. We're not going to be opening it up again this year, but next year you want to be on that list, because we are going to do our official grand opening. We've launched. We have people in the program. It's exciting. We did that in October. That's fun. It's going well. However, we're going to do like a big grand opening in 2024 or so. If you're not on the wait list, you're not going to hear about it. So make sure you do. And then we're going to be offering tons of value on that list in the meantime. So grab that. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell so you never miss an episode. But remember, your marketing is just not going to do what it needs to do if you're not paying attention to your schedule, mastering your schedule, if you don't have amazing systems in place to keep you sane, and if you don't have those fire strategies that are going to attract, engage, and convert the right audience. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please give it a big thumbs up. Leave a comment below and tell me about some of your favorite marketing hacks that help you get the word out. And I'll see you again next week. Bye, guys.